So twin here, this right here is something that I've wrestled with all my life. I've said this in a few of my videos as well. Like when I started out playing, my intention was to learn songs. And I noodled around all over the fretboard and kind of haphazardly trained my ear to be able to play the right notes, but I was still playing outside of scales. I was probably playing wrong modes, even though they sounded right and things like that. But when I started learning things, that's exactly what I did, was I learned patterns. And then once I started seeing the patterns, which there's a lot of patterns out there. You can't really memorize every single pattern. There's tons. But once you get that basic foundation, then what happens is it allows you to then say, oh, that's what they're doing in that song, or that's what they're doing in that song. I did this whole lesson on that do 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 that Hall of the Mountain King song, where the whole lesson, the whole point of that lesson, it's a few lessons back, the whole point of that lesson was to say, look, this song does not fit very well into any one scale. It kind of bounces around from like Phrygian, well, maybe not scales, but let's talk modes. It bounces around like Phrygian, and I think that there's a little Dorian in there. I think there's a little chromatic stuff going on in there. And my point of doing that lesson was to say, look, sometimes you're going to hear a song and it's not going to fit neatly in the box. And that's okay, because you play around with that and you start seeing, oh, there's a note outside that box. Now that may be a mode, or that may be a scale that maybe you just haven't learned yet. And that's, okay too, but at least you're starting to see the patterns, training your brain to see those patterns. So that's what my free course does. Okay. And that's what I do in a lot of my lessons, is I basically show you the most usable basic patterns, pentatonic, which if you want to call that a scale, you can, and then all 7 modes of the major scale. I don't think I go through everything in my course, but I show you the anchor shapes, and I show you how to connect scale patterns and show you how to find the scale patterns on your own and kind of show you how to move things around. So that's over at justpickuptheguitarandgo.com, and if you want to check that out, that is going to be a great starter for you, especially if you already know how to play. Sounds like you know how to play really well. So I don't know if I can help you that much, but I'm going to try my best. And then, of course, keep checking back with the lessons and, just keep challenging yourself. Instead of just learning a song, right? Instead of just learning how to play a lead that somebody else wrote, take that lead and start trying to figure out, well, how does this fit into each one of these little puzzle pieces, right? Or how do the puzzle pieces fit into the overall puzzle of the fretboard? And that's going to get you there.